of tech all the time. We're going to keep talking about tech here because while investors were disappointed with Microsoft's AI software sales, they cheered AMD's chip sales. It's the story of two sides of the AI trade. And joining us now with more on this, Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley. So what are these two sides? Walk us through it, Dan.
Yeah, Julie. So let's start with the Microsoft side. They had better than expected earnings and revenue for the quarter, but the cloud, the intelligent cloud, missed slightly, and nestled in the intelligent cloud is the Azure revenue for Microsoft for every quarter. Now that's a big deal because everybody looks at Azure revenue. They don't, by the way, break out Azure on itself. They put it in this kind of Azure and services, but I digress. What they missed there was an opportunity to really blow away Wall Street. And clearly the question that was on everyone's mind, at least on the earnings call, was when are you going to start making some money on all of this investment that you've been doing in AI infrastructure? And the long and short of it was Amy Hood basically saying, CFO, look, this is for the next 15 plus years that we're pouring this money in. That didn't really soothe any kind of nerves with Microsoft. So you saw them drop about 7% immediately following the report. Then throughout the day today, it was around 1% they were off. On the flip side, we have AMD, which did extremely well, beat on the top and bottom line, and also beat on their data center revenue. That's where they sell the CPUs and GPUs that power AI servers. They also said that they expect to see better than expected revenue from the data center in the coming quarter. People jumped all over that. We saw shares jump immediately after the report and then throughout the day today. And oh, by the way, that also helped that little NVIDIA rally that we saw today, kind of a knock-on effect. People are likely figuring, well, if AMD did well, then NVIDIA must have done great. One of the other things worth pointing out is that Microsoft made sure to let people know that they're going to continue to spend on infrastructure going forward. Again, that's the big question, when's the money going to come from? But that in and of itself, that statement could have also helped AMD because AMD's chips are what help power, or at least partially AMD's chips, are what help power Microsoft's Azure and AI capabilities. So it's kind of, this one side doing so well because the other side is spending so much. Meanwhile, the side that's spending so much is getting smacked around because people are saying, when are you going to start making money on all this?
And then there's Meta.
Yeah.
So, which is so interesting, right? Because it's also spending money on this. But maybe, as we heard from Rohit Kulkarni a little earlier, maybe they've communicated better with what they're getting out of it?
Yeah, I think, what's interesting with Meta is they have open source AI, so they can still license that, right, out to enterprises, make money on that. They want a large spread adoption of it because then more people are building on their capabilities. As far as the spending goes, we just saw them say now, right? This is Q2 of 24. They're saying that they expect to see significant capital expenditure growth in 2025. So they really are telegraphing this way in advance. And obviously, kind of what you're alluding to is they're getting people ready to, say, look, we are going to be spending. We're spending now. I think they said between 96 and 99 billion of expenses this year. They told investors that last quarter. That remains unchanged, so they'll go from 96 to 99 in there. That's what they're going to spend while they build out. But then, significant, what does that mean beyond $99 billion, right? Yeah. So, I think for Meta, it really is, like you said, they're messaging it, they're massaging it a little more, and investors may like that. I think also one of the things is, Meta is obviously a massive company. They're building AI into everything, right? They want to offer it as a product for everyone. Microsoft, however, has to run the cloud. It has to build these models. It has to offer these models, a litany of them. They're also powering OpenAI with Azure. So you got to wonder how much more they're going to spend than Meta in the long run.
That's a good question. Thanks, Dan Howley.
For sure.
Appreciate it.